Yep, there it is. It's in it. Yep, I'm in there now. Just, I'm seeing audio, but that's fine. I'm getting the signal. It's coming really high.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1,000,000 bills. Where's my pen? Stop signing. I like those Balenciagas.
Hello. Good, how are you? Yes, I am. Yep. Thank you.
You'll do a follow.
I wanted to confirm that Homecoming was wearing blue with white shorts.
please remain standing, removing the hats you may be wearing for our national anthem sung by Fort Wayne Councilman Tom Didier.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets had climbed the mountains bursting in air, gave room through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hello and welcome here to Shields Field. We are your commentators today for Fort Wayne FC versus the Flint City Bucks. I'm Caleb Saylor. Joining me today, as always, Ken Hartenreiter. Ken, how are you doing today? Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
Yeah, it's quite the showing here of fans. I would estimate we've got at least three-quarter capacity here at Shields Field. It's a nice showing. Hopefully the weather stays nice for us here.
Indeed.
So we can get a match in.
They've been pushing that forecast back a little bit, which is to our advantage. And hopefully a lot of those households, they asked Dad what he wanted to do today and let him come on out to Shields Field. So hopefully we have a great match ahead and see if Fort Wayne FC can make some progress moving up the standings board here a little bit. Flint City just in front of them in 6th place currently with 11 points on the tally, and Fort Wayne at 6 points with a win and 3 ties, so they could really make some headway toward moving up those standings today.
Kind of an innocuous point here, something that might go unnoticed. Fort Wayne FC donning the blue kits for the first time at home this season, and for those of you who are avid viewers or followers of Fort Wayne FC, you'll note that's the color they wore when they got their first league win so far this season. So maybe the dark blue kits will bring them a bit of luck.
Yeah, that's one of those superstitions all throughout sport, right? You see Notre Dame throw on those green jerseys every now and then when they need a win. So maybe the blue kit will get it done today. Let's see.
And I think I would be remiss to say that I'm paying pretty close attention to the weather forecast as well. That's my other part of my job is being a meteorologist. So we're all clear here at Shields Field, and the first half is underway. Will Harris plays a long ball, trying to find Max Emawako down there in the corner. Fort Wayne FC maintaining possession.
Taking a nice patient approach here so far in the first minute or so. Hopefully maintain solid, confident possession. We've talked a lot about that through the previous 4 or 5 matches. And a bit of an errant ball down the right flank, rolls out of touch. Throw-in coming in here for Flint City. If you're just joining us, we're a little over a minute into this evening's match. Still 0-0, so you haven't missed a whole lot of action yet. Hopefully, Fort Wayne FC put together some exciting attack here in the early goings.
And a foul called against Flint City here on Max Emoako. Like Ken mentioned, you know, not a whole lot doing in the first minute or so. So if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you know, you haven't missed much. Let us know where you're watching from, and make sure to share the link with your friends and family who weren't able to make it out to the match today.
Good early opportunity here for Fort Wayne. See if they can capitalize. They got a lot of bodies forward.
It's BB on the free kick here. He swings that ball into the back post, and Flint's able to clear it away for a corner kick.
Pretty good dangerous ball there. Made Flint City really play hard to get that clearance out for the corner kick. So once again, lots of bodies forward for Fort Wayne.
BB for the corner kick. Ball swung to the back post again. It comes out to Harvey. Harvey to Duty. Just down in that right corner, trying to work it back and forth to each other to break down that Flint back line. Here's Harris on the ball. Harris just trying to chip it over the top.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got a very solid contact on that ball, so it didn't quite get to its destination, but a good thought process.
And interestingly enough, it looks like Fort Wayne FC have lined up in a back three, playing some sort of combination of a 3-5-2, although I can't quite make out what formation they've got in the midfield. Ball's away for Flint. Tom comes in from behind, clears out number 7 for Flint, Idel Shefchetti. And it looks like Proctor for Flint is going to try to swing this ball in. This is a dangerous position.
That really is a dangerous spot, and they've got lots of folks forward. Boy, that's well delivered, but
just nobody
quite on the other end of that, thankfully for Fort Wayne. Joe Bowles get his first touch on the ball here from the goal kick, and we're back in play, moving forward.
One of the new men on the ball here, that was David Cook. I think he just came into the side this week. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a whole lot of information.
Nor do I. No, I'm not sure exactly what his travels, how it brought him here, but clearly must have made a positive impression because he's in that starting 11 already today. So
long ball played over top, trying to find Tom. He's not able to get on the end of it. It goes out for a throw for Flint. Bebe able to win that header, and Emoako tries to take a shot but drags it wide. It's nice to see Emoako back in the lineup for Fort Wayne FC. He was one of the brighter stars there in the beginning, but forced to miss a couple of matches due to a what we'll call an inexperienced decision on his part to put his hands on the referee.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. Bad loss of consciousness for a moment, shall we say, because that game was pretty well in hand, and not a whole lot he was going to change and let his emotion get the better of him. And hopefully he's learned a good, long life lesson on that one, and we'll have a little bit better self-control next time around. So, but we are absolutely pleased to see him back out on the pitch. As you mentioned, Caleb, one of the more exciting players in those opening matches of the season for Fort Wayne. Notching a goal. And,
Will Harris able to clear that ball away. Emawako, one of the players as well that Coach Avery identified last week, saying, you know, he hasn't been able to pick from his top 11 players for any of the matches, and he was waiting for Emawako to be available for him to pick. So I'd be willing to bet this is pretty close to his choice 11 players out there on the pitch right now.
Well, I was going to say, Max, you know, he and Noe Garcia also running up in the front there really complement one another well with a little bit different styles. You know, we've talked about that, Noe running onto those longer balls and getting that nice quick first touch where Max can really hold the ball and pull those defenders away out of position and be real clever in those tight spaces.
Corner kicks in. Stoneman nods it down, but into his own box. Emawako able to kick it away. Flint not able to hold on to that ball. It's going to be a throw-in for Fort Wayne FC. Fort Wayne just working that ball around the back, slowly working their way up the field. They've got a lot of people piled up top there. You know, a couple of them are midfielders, but they've got 4 people across that front line. Fort Wayne do, so it looks like they're going to try to at least spring one of them forward on a long ball. And Garcia wins that ball back here, tries to find Emawako, and ref says he fouls the Flint player, who was probably maybe quarter of a step ahead of Emawako to win that ball.
Yeah, and you pointed out earlier, Caleb, playing 3 across the back for the first time that I've noticed here. So a conscious decision to be a little bit more forward-thinking and attacking in their overall lineup, and hopefully that will be success for Fort Wayne, and it would be fantastic to notch one on the board here early on and play with that aggressive, assertive nature.
Yeah, it'd be nice for Fort Wayne FC to be able to take that momentum early on and try to build on it and make something happen for them. So we're in the 10th minute here at Shields Field. It's still 0-0, Fort Wayne FC versus Flint City Bucks.
Well, and hopefully take a little bit of advantage. You know, Flint City currently sitting at 3-2-2 overall, but started the season off quite well with 5. You know, they didn't lose a match in their first 5, but now the last 2 have come down on the losing end. So maybe take advantage of that as well and catch them in a down spot.
So Amadou Cisse was able to get around the Fort Wayne FC player, but wasn't able to find anybody there. Fort Wayne clears it away. Ball stays in play for Fort Wayne FC. This is Harvey on the ball. He tries to find Garcia over the top. The goalkeeper heads the ball out, probably about the only thing he could do. And here's Tom on the ball. Finds Duty in the box, who finds Harvey. And the Flint City player just able to head that ball over the top of the bar there. That looks like, can't find the number on my sheet here to see which Flint City player headed that ball over. But they had the goalkeeper moving, and that's what you want if you're Fort Wayne FC.
Yeah, that was really a nice balanced attack that involved several players and moving the ball from left to right pretty efficiently. Nice crossing ball from Zach Tom.
And a good cross. trying to find Will Harris, but just too much on it.
Again, you change that point of attack, and that's where you get the defenders and the goalkeeper kind of shifting and moving, and create those spaces between those defenders, and that's where the space to attack comes. And so, again, several of the Fort Wayne FC players involved in that attack, and hopefully just the beginning of a whole match full of that level of attack. So.
So Flint on the ball here. Slade trying to make something happen. Excuse me, that was Borchek trying to make something happen. Cross in for Flint. Headed out for a corner by Harvey. Noah Jensen for Flint. Looks to take the corner. It looks like it's going to be an outswinger. Just trying to find a runner in the box. And it's a good cross. He finds his teammate.
Yeah, that was a good, solid, driven ball.
Adel Shafshided. But he heads it over the bar. It's a goal kick for Fort Wayne FC, currently in the 13th minute here at Shields Field. Score is 0-0. Here's Harris on the ball. Out to Shockey. Ball intercepted by Slade here. Stoneman wins the ball off the Flint City player. And Harris just clears it away.
Again, pulling the keeper all the way off his line outside to the top of the 18.
Yeah,
hopefully we can take advantage of that at some point through the match here.
Here's Duty on the ball. Plays a switch to Harvey. That's a lovely ball. Harvey able just to keep it in front of him. Here's Emawako, and Harvey pulls the left-footed shot wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, Harvey really made a good, solid play on that ball, and a good opportunity.
So referee actually called for offside against Harvey.
Actually, Amawako was one offside.
Was it
on the easy
Emawako?
one. Yeah, when he played that ball back. Replay showed just ducked in behind that last defender, so the proper call coming from the far side. Nonetheless, I'm really excited by the variety of attack. It's good balance attack coming from all across the field.
Certainly.
Fort Wayne's really maintained a nice shape. Again, a good balance all the way across, and hopefully, again, they'll continue to have success with that.
So a Flint City player was just down. He just got up. Amadou Cisse just holding the back of his head there, I think, on the long ball into him. Heads collided a little bit there. Looks like everybody's okay. Cisse got up on his own accord, and Flint City's on the ball now. Long ball in. Finds the Flint player, but you got two Fort Wayne players down there in the corner, and it goes out for a corner kick. I apologize to any Flint fans that are tuning in right now. There are a couple of numbers on the pitch there that don't line up with our roster, so If I don't pronounce a name or if I mispronounce it or call the wrong name, I apologize. So the corner kicks in. Jake Erlinson nods the ball wide for Flint City and goes out for a goal kick. So in the 16th minute, Bulls will play a short goal kick to Harris. Harris plays a long ball, trying to find Garcia. He gets on his horse and is able to get on the end of it. He's just got the one man on him. Trying to find an option here, Garcia is. Finds Emawako. And it's off the crossbar for Emawako. Not sure if the goalkeeper got a fingertip to that or what, but unlucky for Emawako. It was a great shot, a great bit of skill to fake out that defender and pull him one way and put it on his left foot for the shot. And now Flint City's away on the left side.
And that was a great illustration of a point I made earlier about them complementing each other so well. That long ball, Garcia tracks it down, able to really hold it long enough to get that support coming in from behind. And then Max does the rest, and just a bit unfortunate. Game of inches, as they say, and an inch there would have made all the difference, wouldn't it?
Yes, certainly so. It was a great shot by Emawako. Now Fort Wayne FC is working their way through the midfield pretty quickly. Stoneman able to maintain possession of the ball. It's out to Harvey, who swings it in. And Stoneman collects the header. Who tries to find Beebe, who's not able to maintain possession.
A bit of a sloppy touch. That's unfortunate because we had good numbers
and here's
positioning.
Cisse for Flint. He finds Slade, I do believe, who tries to make the ball into Noah Jensen, who just heads it to the goalkeeper. Pretty comfortable save for Bulls, but that's not something you want to see if you're Fort Wayne FC, to be able to get those headers away cleanly and easily.
No, and it was in a really good central position as well. So I think a little bit more pace on that serve would have made that a lot more dangerous opportunity on goal, but didn't have a whole lot of momentum behind it. As you say, easily scooped up by Joe Bowles.
And that distribution by Bowles was mishit. Made its way out to Jensen again from Flint. And the ball goes out for a corner kick. Well defended by Koch there.
Jensen again on the corner kick, and remember that last one, he really drove the ball nicely right into that central area. See, you know, that's kind of ball oftentimes you want to get that landing a little bit closer into the goal, but we'll see here.
Similar ball in again. Cisse kind of just takes a swing at it. I don't know if he thought he was going to try to bicycle kick it or what, but would have been amazing if he had landed it. But yeah. And Harvey heads the ball out for a throw-in for Flint. Here's Jensen, swings the ball in. Harris heads it away. Falls to the Flint back line. And a ball in to basically nobody for Flint. Harvey collects it.
Yeah, not sure if miscommunication there on that one or not. It's a nice crossing ball, but nobody on the other end of it.
And he tried to find Garcia long, which went out for a throw-in. So currently in the 20th minute, it's 0-0 here at Shields Field. Jensen's on the ball here for Flint. He looks to play a switch. That's a good ball by Jensen to find his teammate here. And here's Slade in the middle. He just sort of pokes it to the goalkeeper, Bowles. Bowles plays a long ball. That punt was a good 80 yards or so, 70 yards at least by Bowles before it even touched the ground, but referee calls Garcia for offsides. And something from Fort Wayne FC that, you know, as a fan, I'm glad I'm seeing, and I don't mean it in a bad way, I like seeing Emawako being a pest up there.
Yes,
he's always
indeed.
moving. He's pressuring the ball. He always wants the ball. So he's for a forward, he's getting stuck in on those challenges, and that's something that I like to see from Emawako, especially something that we've missed over the past couple of games.
Well, it's a double benefit as well, because that clearly creates opportunities for him to attack that might not have been there by design, just because he works hard and makes it happen, but it also disrupts the ability for Flint City to really mount that comfortable attack from the back, and so they're maybe playing the ball more quickly or not with as much confidence because he's disruptive.
So here's Cisse on the ball. Back to Jensen for Flint. Tries to use some footwork to split the Fort Wayne defense. And Cisse, just a little clip on Stoneman there. Stoneman looked like he landed hard on his shoulder. Looks like he'll be okay. Cisse not happy about the call. So it looks like Bowles here is going to look to play this ball long.
And am I remembering correctly, Stoneman had some issues with his shoulder earlier in the season, didn't he? I kind of remember him going down kind of in the defensive corner and landing kind of funny on it. It seems like he's been nursing that just a little bit ever since.
And it's not just the shoulder either. I believe he's had a couple knee problems as well. And
I tend to recall that as well. So
referee calls a foul against Emawako.
Not as big a fan as you and I of Max's little pestiness there.
I mean, as a former goalkeeper, it's one thing against the goalkeeper, but you know, it didn't look like there was too much there. I think they just got tangled up at the feet. So Isaac Walker for Flint plays it long here in the 24th minute. Ball's collected by Flint. And Cope over the top of the Flint player, Cisse, pretty hard. And the referee calls a foul.
Looked like just prior to that, the Flint City player kind of undercut on the header, and then Will Harris, there'll be no undercutting with Will Harris. He's going right through. He's going to come through like a dump truck.
Him and Koch both quite the sizable men out there, especially on the back line. Our social media guy over here says that Will Harris is, quote, a typical English center half. And a header in by Flint, sort of against the run of play, but they make it count off the free kick there, and it's 1-0 to Flint here in the 25th minute. The header in by Idel Shifshetty. And here's the header once again, just sort of loops over Bowles. The free kick didn't have a whole lot of pace on it, but he's just able to get it over Bowles to make it count for Flint and put them ahead here in the 25th minute. And not that a lot of American soccer fans love to hear this, but Alexi Lawless always says, make your free kicks count. And Flint certainly did there.
Well, it's interesting because I made the comment earlier about the corner kicks and driving those balls with the pace, and that was, I don't know, maybe the equivalent of a change-up pitch in baseball, right? I mean, by kind of looping it up and over, it was a little less able for Joe Bowles to get in the proper position, and it just kind of found its way into that back corner.
Either way, Fort Wayne's back on the ball here, moving forward. Emawako's down the sideline. He's fouled by Proctor of Flint, and it's going to be a free kick for Fort Wayne. I would say roughly in the same position that Flint took their free kick just a moment ago. So Harvey standing over the ball, going to deliver in the free kick. That's a good ball in. Flint clears it away. Cisse's on the ball, and some good tackle there by Tom. And the referee says a throw-in for Fort Wayne FC. Ball in now. Here's Harris. Koch on the ball now. Trying to find somebody down the sideline, and referee calls a foul against the Flint player. See if I didn't mislabel a number here.
Matt Fernley.
Matty Fernley. Matt Fernley.
Just keep doing it.
And Flint have had 3 or 4 fouls successively here, so I'm wondering if the ref doesn't soon go to his pocket just to try to get things under control.
Just there to Matt.
Right, or shoot the window. Out the window. Yeah, my weatherman, I'm going to use it. My weatherman
And a good through ball in there by Flint. And Jensen's on the ball. Working the ball around well, just being patient, trying to find that point of attack to break that back line of Fort Wayne FC. And the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, the last 5-6 minutes, Flint City's been very comfortable on the ball, and feels like they've settled in a little bit more thoroughly than they were in the opening minutes.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to argue that Flint was on the front foot in the first probably 20 minutes or so, but like you mentioned, they've just worked their way back into the match over the past few minutes. The goal certainly helped them.
Yeah, it's funny how a goal will do that for you.
So here's Flint on the ball. Slade at the top of the box takes the shot for Bowles. Bowles sort of spills the save, but nobody there to capitalize on the second chance for Flint. And Bowles collects it pretty comfortably.
Well, we've been fairly consistent in our commentary about Joe Bowles, and that ball from that distance is rarely going to beat him. On the other hand, you just don't like to see those opportunities be so easily given.
Yeah, I know.
2 defenders right there in the area, and that shot was released again.
I know for me, when I was a goalkeeper, even if I saved that ball pretty comfortably, I'm having a stern word with my defenders just to remind them to step in front of that shot.
And that's been one of the tendencies we've identified throughout the entire season here, is just giving up those soft goals in terms of,
Amawako here in the attack.
A nice run from Amawako.
And Harvey
Can he run it down? And
just plays
quite.
it out. That was a good quick attack there by Amawako. Just a little too much on that ball. This turf, as we've mentioned before, not forgiving in terms of letting that ball roll. That ball's going to roll and roll and roll at speed. So through balls need to be nearly perfect every single time here at Shields Field.
Well, and that's where somebody like Noe Garcia, who runs those balls down so effectively, really a weapon, and can make something happen out of those by collecting it, allowing his other teammates to catch up to the flow of play then and take the attack from there.
So the goal kicks away here in the 30th minute. Flint lead Fort Wayne 1-0. Harvey able to keep that ball in. Noe Garcia is fouled by the Flint player. He's just holding sort of that upper calf, lower knee area. I think he just maybe got a knee to the back of the leg
That's
there.
what it
Didn't
looked
look
like.
Didn't look too bad, but from here, we can't quite tell.
Well, and as you pointed out a few minutes ago, that's been a fairly steady stream of those little tic-tac, come from the back kinds of fouls. So see if the officials can rein that in just a little bit.
So Harvey plays it wide to Garcia. He puts in a low cross on the ground, makes its way to Duty, who finds Stoneman, and it's over the bar for a goal kick for Flint. Nice little change of pace there.
That was
Something
a nice,
different.
yeah, it was a nice attack. And you know, Duty allowed that ball to kind of pop up about knee height before he was able to play it into Stoneman, and wondering if a quicker touch might have had a different result. But all in all, a good attack. Anytime you get an attempt on goal like that, it's a good thing. See if we can hold it in this attacking third now.
So foul called against Noe Garcia. Came in just a skosh late as the Flint player tried to play that ball forward. That was Jake Erlinson, who was fouled for Flint.
And he's getting himself a little talking to as well.
And in fairness, the little tic-tacky fouls that we mentioned have been going both ways. I would say a little more from Flint than Fort Wayne FC, but we've definitely had a couple as well.
Absolutely, and you know what? Mostly from those forward players. Again, we've talked about the double benefit of doing that, but got to do it within the confines of the laws of the game.
Koch plays that ball away. Not messing about there. The pass back from Duty looked a little soft, but Koch just clearing it out for a throw for Flint. Here's BB on the ball. Fort Wayne turn it over. And Stoneman wins it back. Just a shove in the back from the Flint player there, Fernley. The Fort Wayne's away quickly. Koch trying to play a long ball, just nobody ready to get on the end of it there.
Yeah, that little exchange just a moment ago, though, with BB and Stoneman, just an illustration of something we've seen quite a bit this season as well, where just a slight miscommunication or lack of communication maybe is a better way to say it, and pretty soon Flint City's running forward with the ball. So got to be attentive and focused and protecting the ball at all times, not lackadaisical, a word we've used a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. You got to be switched on, especially in those situations where that attack's coming at you quick. You really have to be in tune here. So Flint's on the ball. Slade crosses it in, and Koch heads it away, but just as far as another Flint City player, Jensen, who drags the shot wide for a goal kick here in the 34th minute at Shields Field. And the goal kicks away. Flint City able to come up with the ball. There's a through ball to Cisse with Shockey in front of him. And that shot from Cisse just bounces off of Will Harris. And the ball goes out for a corner kick. Jensen delivers the ball. Just a lofted cross in there, not that driven cross that he's had a couple of times. And Borchek just trying to take that off his chest on the volley. Kicks it well wide for a goal kick for Fort Wayne FC.
Yeah, we'll see if Fort Wayne goes back to this short ball coming off this goal kick. No, it looks like they're pushing everybody forward again.
And it looks like Flint, since probably about the goal, and reasonably so, just starting to sniff blood and pushing a few more attackers forward, just pressing a little bit high here towards the end of the half.
I think if Fort Wayne's going to continue to play those long goal kicks, really need to get somebody on the end of them and make them a little more effective, because Flint City's pretty much collected each one of those and come right forward into their attack, which isn't at all what Fort Wayne FC would prefer.
So a throw in here for Flint. Fernley and Tom, the two number 11s, fighting for the ball. It's another throw in for Flint. Finds Slade. Harvey just collects the ball off of Slade here.
Oh, nice bit of diversion from Duty there.
And Harvey just playing a no-nonsense ball out to Koch, who gives the ball away, and he's done that a couple of times now. Just errant passes, trying to find a teammate, trying to force something to happen. And now Flint City's away. Borchek on the ball. Swings the ball in to the backside, and Cisse trying to make something happen, and Bowles stands tall, able to make the save. But Flint's still on the ball. Fort Wayne's still in danger here. Doesn't seem like it anymore. Just for a second there. There's a spot of danger for Fort Wayne FC. They just got possession of it.
Well, we've quite often sing the praises, and rightfully so, sing the praises of Joe Bowles. What a nice reflex reaction save there on that one. Really, Cisse had really nice position right in close, and Joe Bowles responding and coming up with just enough of a touch to keep it out of the back of the net.
And sometimes that's all you need. Just a foot, a hand, just one touch to keep it out of there, and hopefully your defender's there to help you out on that second shot.
Well, I'm trying to evaluate and analyze a little bit. Fort Wayne slowing down in terms of being able to get that ball in that final third, but now they're getting a little bit better balance. But the shape overall, they had that first 20 minutes, such a good balanced shape, moving the ball confidently around from front to back, left to right, and kind of slipped up on that in the last 15 minutes or so.
And here's Jensen on the end of a through ball here for Flint. He finds Slade and got an overlapping run. That ball swung in, and Shockey able to clear the header away. That was a good cross in by Proctor, and another shot here for Flint. Bowles keeps that shot in front of him and collects it. The shot from Slade. Yeah, and as you mentioned, in the first 20 minutes, Fort Wayne was doing well to work that ball quickly through the midfield, just sort of cut apart that midfield and defense of Flint. You're not really seeing that a whole lot anymore.
No, they've fallen into that long, direct ball again. And again, if there's somebody on the end of it and you can make it effective, and usually that comes in the person of Noe Garcia, but just unable to find any target whatsoever for those long ball delivered out of the back. So I'm not quite sure. Again, Flint City fairly easily winning possession on that long ball.
So currently in the 40th minute here at Shields Field, it's Flint City 1, Fort Wayne 0. Flint over the past probably 15 minutes just gaining a foothold in this match. Probably I would argue taking the advantage into halftime, although their goal came quite a few minutes ago. Here's Cisse on the ball. Him and Borchek just having a conversation. Borchek saying, hey, play it to my feet, but the Fort Wayne player able to nick it off him just in time. And here's Harvey now. Harris finds Beebe in the middle, a name we haven't called a whole lot over the past 10-15 minutes. Fort Wayne just working it through the midfield here. And Flint turned the ball over here. Shockey finds, I believe that's Duty out there, out wide. Harris had no communication from anybody that he had a man on him trying to play that ball. He's going for a stroll, and the ball's been turned over now. Flint's in possession. Here's Slade. Played out to Fernley. Was able to find Jensen. Noe Garcia able to find Amawako. And here goes Garcia, able to get on the end of a nice pass from Amawako. And the shot's straight to the goalkeeper, Isaac Walker.
And he struck it well, just not much of an angle to work with there. Walker was in great position and scooped that up pretty cleanly. But I noticed as Amawako and Garcia running forward in that attack, the midfield was lagging behind. I don't know if the heat is taking its toll here in the final moments of the first half, but quite a large gap between those two front runners and the midfield who
Certainly
are
so.
in support, or hopefully in support of that attack. But
And the Fort Wayne midfield, actually, over the past 10 minutes, they've done a lot of chasing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little bit gassed here at the end of the first half. Fernley plays a ball out. Can't quite see the number from here. But the cross is in from the Flint player. Doesn't make it farther than Dylan Shockey, who heads it away.
Just like dentistry. Get in there and get rid of some of that plaque.
In the 43rd minute here, Flint just working the ball around the back, not rushing anything. A nice dummy there by, I believe that was Slade, to find his teammate here, who skips past Duty and the cross in to the Fort Wayne player. And Harvey's now on the end of it. And something I just noticed, and I haven't noticed it a whole lot, but that might be because I'm paying attention to other things as well. Noe Garcia and Amawako, whenever they're looking to get a ball in long to them, they start to fan out, and you've got nobody in that middle to try to fill that space that they vacated, and so you've got 4 defenders for Flint able to basically shut everything down from any long ball played in by Fort Wayne FC.
yeah, they again, you've mentioned already, but playing with a higher level of confidence since the goal, and that's part of that as well. They're stepping forward and being aggressive, that extra confidence. And Fort Wayne, on the other hand, a little bit more back on their heels at this point in the match.
So the ball in. Foul, I believe, called against Fernley. Just a little chippiness there by Fernley. I'm not entirely sure the referee saw it.
Punch someone and get away with it.
And here's Tom. And the Flint player just makes sure that Zach Tom stays on the ground there with a little push. And I'm not entirely sure if the referee's seeing some of these fouls or trying to rely on his sideline refs.
1 minute.
So the stoppage time just announced, 1 minute here at Shields Field. And the ball out for a throw in here for Flint. Stoneman on the ball. And here's Shockey. Duty plays Stoneman. He just plays it wide to Koch. Finds the feet of Zach Tom. Here's Amawako. who finds Harvey, and the ball's just nicked off of Harvey, but Fort Wayne able to maintain possession. Zach Tom goes for the cross, and the ball's kicked out for a corner. And we'll see what BB has to do here for the corner kick. I imagine you're looking towards Will Harris. An in-swinger here from BB. Nice driven cross. The Flint City player able to clear it out, but it only goes as far as Duty, who tries to use a little bit of trickery to get around the Flint City player, but nothing in it, and that's halftime here at Shields Field. Flint City 1, Fort Wayne FC 0, off a free kick that resulted in a header over the top of Joe Bowles in about the 26th minute to give Flint City the lead. And over the past couple of minutes, last 10 or 15, Flint City just taking a bit more advantage off of the first, I would say, good 20 minutes that Fort Wayne FC had there at the beginning.
Yeah, it was such a really balanced, solid attack, and they had a couple of nice opportunities. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, kind of against the flow of play, Flint City ends up with a goal and kind of put Fort Wayne in the position of chasing and back on our heels, and probably fair to say Flint City had the better of play in those final 20-25 minutes of this first half. So see if we can't come back and get some of that confidence back.
So once again, that's halftime here at Shields Field. Fort Wayne FC, the hosts, 0, Flint City 1. We'll be back with more coverage of the second half of the match here at Shields Field.
for Ethan Stoneman.
Actually pretty good.
And welcome back here at Shields Field. Second half just about underway. Fort Wayne FC trailing Flint City by a score of 1-0. Flint able to nod home across in the 26th minute to put them in the lead. And Ken, you said that Fort Wayne have a couple of changes they've made in the second half that we know of.
Yeah, Pep Casas, number 10, stepping on the field. Looks like coming in there in place of Ethan Stoneman.
I probably have it somewhere in my phone.
And I should say as well, if you're a Fort Wayne resident watching at home, or if not, we've actually got thunderstorms headed this way. I've been periodically checking the radar here or there. I am not confident we are going to get the entire second half in for this match, which I think the rules state the 70th minute is a full match in the USL League 2. So hopefully Fort Wayne is able to do something about that before these thunderstorms get into our area.
These two matches really well, but we have to have really clean first half. I'm going to go to Bridget. We got dribbling.
So Flint trying to work it out of the back here.
Yeah, sometimes they may just cut over when we have a break or something.
And if you're just tuning in, the second half here at Shields Field, Fort Wayne FC trails Flint City 1-0, and a special hello to Danny watching in Leicester on the live stream. Let us know where you're watching from and make sure to share the link with any friends and family members who weren't able to make it to the match today. So here's Kehoe was able to work the ball down the line there for Flint, but it's just turned over. And here's BB who finds Duty. And Casas, the birthday boy, as I'm told, able to successfully keep that ball away from the Flint City players. And here he is working the way through the midfield, just winding and weaving, trying to find that best pass possible. Tom on the end of it. Harvey crosses it in. Looked like that ball was just a little too far ahead of him to get a clean cross in.
Yeah, again, a good idea, just not the strike he needed on that ball to put it where it needed to land.
And here on the live stream, somebody says, thunderstorm down here in Huntington right now and headed north. That's actually the thunderstorm that I'm watching, threatening us here at Shields Field. So Cisse on the end of the ball here, dribbling in, and he fires it past Bowles. A little too easily contested for Cisse. And pretty quickly here in the second half, Flint City doubled their lead. And here it is again on replay. Cisse just able to put Harris on the wrong foot, and he doesn't really challenge it there. He sort of looks like is hoping Bowles is able to come up big, and Amadou Cisse for Flint City able to make it 2-0 here at Shields Field. Flint City leads in the 49th minute.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get a better descriptor than what you just said. It just way too easily kind of waltzed in, and almost wondering two things from Joe Bowles, uncharacteristic there, but almost wondering, okay, I've got my defender in good solid position, but then maybe just a little bit blocked view on the final finish as well, where, as you say, Harris was off-footed, and now his body's in the way of Joe Bowles being able to see that ball being released, and by the time it came onto frame, it was too late.
Duty, great touch there to settle that ball. And here's Harvey. not able to do anything with it. That was a good little exchange there by Fort Wayne FC. A little bit of fight in Noe Garcia, a little bit of technical skill there from Duty. Just coming up trumps for Fort Wayne FC, and now we've got Max Amawako down on the pitch. It looked like he was just maybe kicked a little bit in the back of the leg. Nothing really doing, just everybody fighting for the ball down there. Nothing malicious or anything like that, but that might have been what happened in that exchange down there in the right corner. Amawako being attended to and sort of motioning that something might have been either hyperextended or overstretched, doing a little hand gesture there. He's up, walking a little gingerly. And we've got a substitution for Amawako here. Jose Rodriguez coming in to replace him. And if there's a substitute that you want, this is not a bad one.
That's for sure. Yes.
Rodriguez in for Amawako.
Rodriguez, and again, he's hopefully some fresh legs.
Yeah, a lot of running from Fort Wayne FC in that first half there. Now the ball's in the hands of the Flint City goalkeeper, Walker. He just plays it short to his right back. Trying to find Cisse up there. The ball's turned over, Fort Wayne FC. Here's BB. Works his way through two defenders from Flint. He just sort of runs himself into traffic. Doesn't have a whole lot of support except for that drop there by Casas. He's working the ball across the midfield and finds Harvey. Here's Duty now. The ball goes in, or goes out for a throw-in for Fort Wayne FC. And a nice little scoop there by Duty to find Rodriguez. He crosses it in, and Flint just able to get away that cross. Falls to the feet of Jensen, who plays it up to Cisse, and a nice little flick here to, I believe that was Borchek, who finds a Flint City player, Kehoe, running down the left side. And a nice tackle there by Casas, who then just gives the ball right back to let Flint City try again. So the referee is, I believe, calling the match to a temporary halt due to weather. Admittedly, radar is a couple of minutes behind from us here at Shields Field. The nearest lightning strike about 13 miles away, actually, which is not the 10 minutes or the 10-mile threshold that is held by the USL League 2. But either way, match has been put to a halt for the time being. We're currently in the 53rd minute at Shields Field, and we're currently in a lightning delay, which it's 30 minutes until the last lightning strike within 10 miles of the facility here at Shields Field. So in the first 7 or so or 8 or so minutes, not able to tell a whole lot between the two teams. Flint able to do a little something. Fort Wayne FC able to do a little something as well. It looked like Fort Wayne FC was just building back in to the momentum that they took in the first 20 minutes. That was then taken away by the Flint City players.
Yep, and Cisse with a nice individual effort going down that right flank and putting them up by 2-0. So,
yep. So we're gonna go ahead and put a pause on things right now. We're just sort of in a holding pattern. It's a 30-minute delay from every lightning strike that I believe the referees see. Once again, these thunderstorms from Shields Field, about 13 miles away. The threshold is 10 minutes, so fans are clearing out here. Once again, in the 53rd minute here at Shields Field, Flint City Bucks lead 2-0. And we're back here at Shields Field after a lengthy thunderstorm delay, but we're back in action now. The storms have cleared the area, and we're still monitoring the radar, but it looks like we're going to get another good chunk of the second half in, if not all of it at this point. Just a reminder, we're in the 53rd minute of the match. Fort Wayne FC 0, Flint City leads with 2 goals. 1 goal in each half for Flint City. The first one coming off a header in about the 25th, 26th minute. And the second one beating goalkeeper Joe Bowles to his near post. Something you don't want to do if you're a goalkeeper. Putting Flint City in the lead by a score of 2-0. So thanks for sticking with us here on the live stream. If you're viewing at home, wherever you are, make sure to share the link with friends and family who weren't able to make it to the match, and let us know where you're watching from. So we're back underway here at Shields Field.
It was away drop ball. So
Goalkeeper with ball in hand, and he kicks it away. Trying to find a teammate here, and Flint City's able to at least settle the ball for a second, and Shockey plays a rather questionable pass back to Bowles, and Flint City able to get a hold of it, but the player just knocks it over the bar for a goal kick. Bowles plays it long. And we've got at least 1 new player in the game for Fort Wayne FC. 2, actually, I'm counting. Joe Quadio in the match. He's on the ball here. The cross in. And Pep Casas, the shot saved, but it doesn't matter anyway. Referee calls for offsides. So Joe Quadio is in the match. I haven't quite worked out who he's in for. Also, Logan Lee in the match as well. So the player out, Noe Garcia, he's off. And we've got a 3rd player on, brand new for Fort Wayne FC as well. Sam Sarver is now on the field as well. So Flint on the ball here. This is Slade. Plays the ball to Horchek, who wins the throw in for Flint. Here's Harvey Slade. Chef Shetty plays the ball back to the goalkeeper, Walker, who finds Cisse, who just gets a little bit of a head on it, and Joe Bowles, well, he knocked that ball out onto Clinton. If somebody gets out of Shields Field and wants a souvenir from Fort Wayne FC, you've got one. You just got to brave the traffic to go pick the ball up over there on Clinton.
Fort Wayne FC. Number 15, Joe Quadio, replacing number 3, Noe Garcia.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how both teams respond to that rather lengthy delay.
Yeah, not sure what Coach Mike Avery said to the players, but I know the Flint players, we were sort of hanging out, at least I was, where they were, and pretty quiet actually amongst the group there for 30, 45 minutes. Coach didn't really say a whole lot. I'm sure he said 1 or 2 things during warm-ups.
I would think they'd be excited to just let this roll into.
And that's a good dummy there by Flint City, but Bowles collects the ball.
I would think they would be satisfied to let it roll into a 2-0 partial finish for a result, but hopefully Fort Wayne FC is able to generate some never say never attitude.
Here's Quadio on the ball.
Go forward.
Lee. BB finds, looks like Harvey, who tries to find Logan Lee. That ball just over the top. Logan Lee, another one of those what we'll call pesky players. Pesky, I should say. He always fighting for the ball, always trying to win it, always hustling. I think he'll be a good addition for Fort Wayne FC here in the second half.
Well, and especially the circumstances dictate you need something to happen fairly quickly here. Not a huge amount of time left to overcome a 2-goal deficit, so hopefully he can scatter around and make something happen, and Fort Wayne can get back into this match.
So here's Cisse, crosses it in, and Bowles collects the cross fairly easily, and he hoofs it downfield, trying to find one of the 3 Fort Wayne FC forwards. And it's a throw in here for Fort Wayne FC. Referee calls handball against Flint, and this will be a free kick for Fort Wayne FC. And Will Harris coming up into the box for Fort Wayne. Casas standing over the ball to deliver it. A little bit of shoving in the box there by Flint and Fort Wayne players. And the cross is in. And Flint are able to get it away and absolutely hoofs it downfield to Joe Bowles, who is able to settle that pass. Trying to find a man of his own in Logan Lee. And Lee's able to get on the end of it. He was up for the task to chase that ball down. It's a throw in for Fort Wayne.
Oh, he's trying to find something from nothing. Oh, Logan Lee, really willing to put that effort forth.
Ball's back in by Harris. He comes up to challenge that ball and wins it and gives it to Pep Casas, who finds Rodriguez down here in the right corner. Doing just about enough to keep it away from Flint City. And BB just not able to maintain possession, and it's headed the way of Flint City. This is Fernando Garcia on the ball, and fouled pretty hard there by Harris, and the referee
and the card
says
comes out.
Yep, he says, all right, that's a little too much there. So yellow card against Will Harris there on that foul. That's the first yellow card of the night. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, especially in the first half. There was a lot of chippiness with the fouls.
And that one had a little bit more intensity behind it, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we might call I'm down 2-0, been waiting an hour to get back out here sort of foul.
Just get the energy out. So here's the free kick for Flint. The header, and it connects with a Flint City player backside, but it doesn't matter. The referee has called offsides, and Joe Bowles is away, finding Sam Sarver down the field. Sarver not able to maintain possession, and Flint win the ball back. So we're here in the 60th minute. A goal disallowed by the referees for Flint, called for offsides. The score remains 2-0. Flint leads. And here's Borchek. Still on the ball. He's able to get the cross in. Will Harris able to head it. Only as far as Cisse. We find Slade. Slade, good footwork here to maintain possession. And Cisse going for that top right corner and hits it off the football crossbar, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. Bowles plays it quickly here. Rodriguez able to maintain possession.
Well, that's one of the things Rodriguez does so well is protect that ball and is really strong. And
so he's onside. Oh! That shot just off the crossbar by Rodriguez, and it goes out for a goal kick. I think the man they're actually targeting up there, Fort Wayne FC, is Sam Sarver. He's young, he's quick, he's got good feet, good vision. He's an IU prospect for a reason, so it's no surprise that they're trying to target him up there.
Yeah, and he's only recently added to the roster, as you well know, and has already been responsible in part for both the most recent Fort Wayne FC goals, drawing a penalty and then delivering the assist on Friday night. So can make some things happen for sure.
So Tom wins the header here. Rodriguez tries to flick it on, but nothing doing. And actually, referee's calling it back, saying foul against Rodriguez. This looks like BB standing over the ball to deliver it in. Here comes the kick. And it finds the head of Dylan Shockey, and it's just wide of the post. Not too far off there from that bottom corner. It looked like Walker had it covered, but you just never know. Here's that kick again. Yeah, just doing enough to put it goalward, but too wide for Fort Wayne FC. Now it's a goal kick. Throw in here for Flint. Here's Cisse. Cross in. Little too easy. Man unmarked, and it's still Flint. Borchek with the shot. And Fernando Garcia for Flint, too easily able to get into the box. On, at least try to get on the end of that cross. He wasn't able to. The ball played just a little bit behind him, but a very dangerous attack for Flint there.
Well, and Flint seems to be really well coordinated in their attack. They're doing a lot of little flicks and little dummies and all those kind of clever things to make opportunities. And you know, that again, partly with a 2-goal lead, you can be a little more flamboyant, but they're really working together and aligned well right now up in that attacking third.
So it looks like, oh, thought the ball was going to go out for a throw-in, but it's Sam Sarver able to nick it off the Flint player and goes down the field. And a clear shove by the Flint player there. I'm not sure why the ref hasn't called a foul, and then the Flint player got up to go towards Sarver and just I'm sorry about laughing here, but at least on the first foul down on Sam Sarver, the player pushed Sarver and then flopped when he went back towards Sarver. And then we had a foul here in the middle of the pitch.
And the second yellow card shown to Fort Wayne FC.
And I'm not sure who that yellow card was delivered to. You know, from here, I should say, didn't look like much, but I would say, I think the Flint player, how do I put this nicely, got hit in the gentleman's region. So, he's up now. Seems to be okay.
He's a gentleman once again. Singing soprano on Sunday morning.
So that was George Proctor who was fouled down there in the defensive third. I think he's just coming off for a moment until the referee calls him back on. And here's Cisse for the pass. Good ball in for Garcia. Turns and shoots, not able to do anything with it.
They are receiving those balls way too easily inside that 18 area, though, aren't they?
They certainly are. I don't know if that's a product of the back three and you don't have that defensive midfielder dropping back to cover that space or not. They've been playing a back three all night, and I think if we're being frank, at least this half, it's not done super well for them. So I don't know if Mike Avery's going to look to change up tactics or try to make something happen. Quadio just tries to play a little dink pass, but turns it over to Flint. And the Flint player gets Tom stabbing, and here's Garcia through, and he finishes the sequence, but it's called offside. So the score remains 2-0 here in the 68th minute.
Well, albeit that neither of the two goals called off from offside are on the scoreboard, nonetheless, essentially in a 15-minute period, Flint City's broken through the Fort Wayne defense and finished twice. So not necessarily a good indication.
So Casas just looking like he was trying to line up for a shot, and here's Beebe trying to take a shot there, but deflects off Flint for a throw-in for Fort Wayne. Logan Lee signaling a long throw here. Trying to find Quadio. Flint heads it out, but doesn't make it that far. Ball in by Shockey. Here's Quadio. Tried to get a cross in, but it's cleared out by Flint. They're back the other way. Here's Borchek. Casas wins the ball off of him. Here's Zach Tom. Flint City doing well to press Fort Wayne FC in that middle and their defensive third, especially when Fort Wayne have the ball. They're not doing all that well to maintain possession there in the middle, so I think rightfully so, and smartly, Flint's doing well to press high against Fort Wayne.
Well, that last sequence with Joe Quadio really showing some of his skill set as far as finding some space and really attacking quickly. Love to see Fort Wayne play into Joe a little bit more frequently and see if we can create some opportunity.
So Sarver wins the ball back for Fort Wayne. And here's Zach Tom trying to quickly play out of his midfield, but plays an errant pass to a Flint player. They've got the ball back now. Here's Shockey to Rodriguez. It's a good pass. Here's Sam Sarver. Trying to take on players. And he's caught up in the box, but the referee says nothing doing. And plays continued for Flint. And they've tried to have a couple tackles here, but Flint have maintained possession. Here's Borchek on his left foot. Fires the shot in, and Bowles collects it. He gets rid of it quickly down the field. Here's Sarver. And a tough challenge for that ball there, but it's clean, says the ref. Borchek plays it into Garcia, but just too much on it, and Bowles is able to collect it.
He's riding him.
71st minute. Fort Wayne FC has the ball. A foul just called against Flint. Jay Rodriguez receiving that ball, and the Flint player just grabbing a little too much.
Some real end-to-end play here in the last couple of minutes, though. It's interesting to see both teams kind of bypassing the midfield, just playing direct.
So Pep Casas deliver the free kick. Ball's in high, but a Flint player gets the head to it. Here's Logan Lee lining up a shot. And he pulls that shot well wide for a goal kick.
Almost striking a bit of fear in the corner flag on that one.
Well, I thought he was going to settle it and then first time it. He had the space to do it. He'd be awfully brave to do so, but
and he did do well to control kind of a difficult ball, especially I'm assuming there's still a fair amount of moisture out on the field, so things are skipping around and taking a funny bounce, but obviously the final touch on the ball was not what he was looking for.
So here's a good little sequence from Fort Wayne here. Beebe on the ball. Plays to Rodriguez, who's able to get a cross in. And Quadio trying to get on the end of it. Flint gets it away. Shockey trying to find Sarver here, now on the right, and a good tackle by Zach Tom. And Quadio on the ball, trying to beat a Flint City player, but he does well to defend Adam McAlean. Shockey wins that ball back, is able to keep it in. Finds Sarver, who's then pushed in the face by the Flint player.
Sarver would appear to be in the mix on most every one of these Flint City fouls here in the last few minutes.
And it's a yellow card for the Flint player, Alan Kehoe, on that shove against Sarver. Sarver's a dangerous player, so, you know, maybe not the position you want to give a foul away in. But overall, for a player like Sarver, not a bad attacking option, but it's one of those fouls that's a welcome to the league rookie fouls. So here's the free kick in by Casas, and Quadio able to get his head to it, but just a little bit wide.
Yeah, did well to get to that, but they almost were set up a little bit too far outside. That ball needs to get a little deeper into that 18-yard area to pose a real challenge.
So goal kick here for Flint City in the 75th minute. We got two substitutions coming in. So Kehoe is coming off. He's being replaced by Mujib Murana. And number 18 for Flint, Adam McAleenan, he's off, being substituted by, and I can't read my own handwriting here, number 6 for Flint, Mervale Bilomba is in the match now for Flint City. So two substitutions for Flint. Both seem to be at defense.
So fair to say you didn't miss your career calling as an elementary school teacher. You can't read your own handwriting.
It's a math teacher's curse.
Curse of the weatherman.
Exactly.
Let me draw little circles and arrows.
So Flint's on the ball here in the final third.
Oh,
but
Pep Casas steps in. A nice stripping of that ball, and Fort Wayne now coming forward with some purpose.
Morana able to get that ball off of Fort Wayne and gets around Sarver, but Shockey steps in. Here's Slade. Morana again. Driving at Shockey. Drops it back to Borchek, who finds Slade. Fort Wayne win the ball back, but not for long. Cisse able to kick the ball away, and it goes out for a goal kick. So Bowles elects to go long, and admittedly, almost every goal kick from about the 30th minute onward for Fort Wayne has been a long goal kick, and I don't know if he just doesn't think their players are getting up in the attack, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to push them forward, try to make something happen.
No, I would question that tactic as well. It seemed in the first 20 minutes, as we've mentioned,
And here's
they were
Borchek.
pretty successful coming out of the back. And then almost with a strike of quickness, they've relied almost entirely on that long kick, which is not, let's be honest, has not been very effective at maintaining a Fort Wayne possession.
So we've got another double substitution for Flint here. Amadou Cisse, he's being substituted off. His day is done. Coming in for him is Mikey Ketteman. And the second substitution,
Now in for Flint City,
number 8 for
14.
Flint, Noah Jensen coming off. And he's being replaced by number 23, Ides Hadama. So another double substitution here for Flint in the 78th minute. Flint still lead.
Also for Flint
Will
City,
Harris wins the ball back
on
for
the
Fort
field,
Wayne.
number 23.
Tries to play a ball over top for Rodriguez, but there's just too much on it, and it goes out for a throw for Flint.
Replacing number 8, Noah Jensen.
Flint now in possession. Borchek on the ball. Taking on 2 Fort Wayne players, and the shot is pulled wide for a goal kick for Fort Wayne here in the 79th minute. And the goal kick, trying to find somebody up there, either Logan Lee or Joe Quadio. The ball eventually falls to Casas, who tries to play a through ball to Sarver, but it's just too far in front of him, and the Flint goalkeeper collects it. Flint headed the other way. Borchek plays the ball into Morana, but Will Harris, not messing about, just kicks the ball out of play. Here's Slade on the ball. Flint working it up that right side. They've done well in the wings today. See if they can do something here. The shot's in. And shouts of a handball against Shockey. But the ref says nothing doing, and Joe Bowles tries to distribute it out to Sarver as quickly as possible, and he's not able to do anything with it. And the ball goes out for a goal, or for a throw-in, excuse me. So we've got a substitution here. Brett Beebe coming off, and in his place is Jacob Olchek. So once again, Brett Beebe off, and in his place is Jacob Olchek. Foul against Flint. Will Harris plays it long, trying to find Quadio. The ball's kicked forward by Flint. Just sort of bouncing around. And Slade able to bring that ball down for Flint. And the ball is passed out of bounds for a Fort Wayne throw-in. Ball just kind of kicked away by the Flint player, and it's going to be a throw-in for Fort Wayne FC. Shockey taking the throw, trying to find Logan Lee down the sideline, and he does. He had Rodriguez there right in front of him. Probably could have played him into space, but elected to go a different route, and now the ball's turned over. Flint's on the ball. This is Garcia. Taking on 3 Fort Wayne players and passes it off. With the ball played into Harvey. A lot of bouncing around this ball in the past 5-10 minutes. Not a whole lot of possession by either team. And it's not that method's not going to suit Fort Wayne because they really need to be putting some chances on frame at this point in the match. We're in the 83rd minute at this point.
Yeah, Flint's just satisfied to, as I've seen now a couple times, and here again, just kind of purposely taking the time to get the throw in or the restart. They don't need any more goals, so they're satisfied to let the clock just run.
Might as well. So Flint, another substitution here. Dylan Borchek is off, and in his place, number 16, Noel Kaliskin. And in the first 20 minutes of this match, I certainly didn't think it was going to go this way. I thought Fort Wayne had a lot of fight. They showed a lot of good play in the middle. And
tactically seemed to be doing the right things. They had a balanced attack. We talked about that. They were spread out across the field, and they were able to keep possession and move the ball forward, create some good opportunities. But then almost as quickly as that, things shifted. And, I'm not even sure we can blame the goal for that. I mean, clearly Flint picked up their play after the goal and played with more confidence, but Fort Wayne made some decisions that really were not as effective. That's not a pretty sign there. That was
so hard tackle there by Zach Tom.
Hard tackle.
And a Flint player trying to read his number, 23.
I'm glad to see him get up so quickly. That didn't have a good look about it, but
yeah,
I'm glad to see he's up and moving.
He's going to feel that tomorrow, that's for certain. Yeah, sometimes those sorts of tackles, even if it's clean, they could go horribly wrong, and it's good to see that in this case it didn't. So, a goal kick for Flint, currently in the 86th minute. Flint just taking their time here. Olchek with the header. Ball just bouncing around in the middle third there. Slade brings it down for Flint. The ball makes its way to Jake Erlinson, who tries to make something happen. Flint player using some footwork there. That was Mikey Ketterman trying to make something happen. The ball goes out for a corner.
Well, it occurs to me just now as you're saying yet again Slade's name in the midfield for Flint. He's had quite a match. He's really been a good connector from the front to the from the back to the front, and really a large part he's played in Flint's success this evening.
Certainly so. Him and Borchek connected a lot in those minutes that they were in. And Slade's really been, like you said, that connecting player most of the match for Flint. So the ball makes its way all the way back to Walker for Flint City. Logan Lee able to come up with the ball, but not able to maintain possession. Here's Casas. Plays a pass with just too much on it for Rodriguez, and the ball goes out for a Flint throw. So in the 88th minute, Flint City still leads 2-0 here at Shields Field. And Garcia for Flint able to maintain possession and lay off that ball. And it goes out for a corner kick. Flint's Garcia says, why not call the foul? Ref says, no foul doing. And I apologize if you heard that language on our live feed. I heard it through my headphones as well. So in the 88th minute here, a good shot by for Flint City. That was number 23, Ides Hadama. Bowles able to save it near post, and it goes out for another corner. And that Flint player just taking his time to set up that corner. Little shovey back and forth there in the middle between Fort Wayne players and Flint players. Here comes the corner. And ball's just over hit, and it's going to go out for a goal kick for Fort Wayne FC.
And we are entering the final minute, and yet another bit of frustration for Fort Wayne FC this evening, that they clearly showed some good play, but not able to get themselves on the scoreboard and get a result of any kind. But
and it's an unfortunate result. You know, you don't want anybody in the league to do the double over you. And first match, Flint wins 3-0, and if this result stands, it's 2-0 to Flint.
Well, try to find a bit of balance in the entire 5 minutes of added time, 5 minutes. So never say never. I've watched teams come from 2 goals behind in extra time. Not
but
typically
has it been 3,
however.
So your goal scorer there for Flint, number 2, Jake Erlinson, is able to put that free kick past Bowles.
Goal for Flint City.
And it's unfortunately not a good look.
Not a good look
FC.
At the scoreboard here for Fort Wayne FC. And, you know, I'll as I was about to say, trying to find a little bit of balance here for the good and the bad. That, 6 weeks ago, this was a brand new endeavor, and clearly there's so many elements about this side that have been positive and really exciting to see and watch and evolve. Having said that, at this level, there's no question getting some results is a necessity. And we've watched it time and again, Caleb, where you know, there's only so many games you can come away saying, boy, they played well enough to win, but they didn't. And hate to go there because there's so much positivity connected to the whole endeavor. However, I think they need to go back to the drawing board. And I was so excited that first 20 minutes this afternoon, but boy, here we are, right back where
the script has really changed in favor of Flint City, and you know, we can't take anything away from them either.
Kudos.
They were league champs 2 years ago in the last full season they were, so
and have been champions at the national level as well. They've entered into the playoffs and been very, very, very successful. Make no mistake, they're middle of the table right now in the Central Conference. However, have been very, very successful as a franchise.
So a throw in here for Fort Wayne.
And a mark of a really solid, successful club is what we've seen here today, which is, you know, as the game proceeded, they became more and more and more dominant. They shut Fort Wayne down in the front. They moved through the midfield pretty successfully, and clearly not only the 3 goals on the scoreboard, but the other 2 really quality finishes that were negated by offside showed a really, really good, solid, strong attack in the front third as well.
Yeah, I think it certainly goes without saying they were the better team today. Plain and simple. There's no other way to put it.
Plain and simple.
Maybe as a consolation, Fort Wayne might be able to get something back here, but it really won't count for much at this point. We're down near the bottom of the table, just above Dayton Dutch Lions, who have lost every match so far this season. Fort Wayne still needs to get that elusive first league home win. And I don't know, after a match like this, I guess all you can say to your players, if you're Mike Avery, is we go again.
Yeah, and it really is, as I was sort of alluding to just a moment ago. It's really at this point in the season, they're past the halfway mark. They've seen everyone in the league in terms of the teams are directly competing for points, and they've come away sort of frustrated and empty-handed many times. So now it's all about really manning up, so to speak, and coming back to the practice pitch and putting everything forward. And you know, I honestly, I saw a little bit of that in the first 5-6 minutes of the restart after the rain delay tonight. And
yeah, just a little bit of feistiness.
You know, a little feistiness, and hey, we've got nothing to, never say never, got nothing to lose. But pretty quickly devolved into more of the same.
And while this may go at the professional level, I would assume this would stand for the pre-professional level as well. You know, clubs really need to be around for a couple of years to really get their feet under them and start winning, you know, probably more matches. And a good save there by Walker.
And a good attack. That's a nice ball in and a good attempt at goal. No question, Caleb, that you know, that's important to have some of that experience behind you. Remember, Fort Wayne FC had the COVID delay a year ago. They were supposed to start play as a franchise, and obviously a year delay causes some havoc there, but then also the early season paperwork and eligibility issues. So there's no question a lot of obstacles that have entered behind the scenes that have led to this sort of situation. And I was just speaking to the extent of you know, the frustration that the players are feeling on the field, that they do quite a few things well enough to be able to be successful, and when you don't get the result, that begins to kind of self-perpetuate.
Yeah, certainly so. And it'll be interesting to see what comes of the next match here for Fort Wayne FC and at Shields Field. The next home match is going to be against Chivas de Guadalajara's U20 team. They will be traveling up here to the Summit City on Friday, June 25th, 8 p.m. kickoff here at Shields Field. This is an international friendly for Fort Wayne FC, but they may be U20, so these players may only be 18, 19 years old for Chivas. But let me tell you, this is going to be a quality opponent.
It's going to be an exciting match.
You want to make sure to get your tickets, fortwaynefc.com.
And
so
let's hopefully fill the stadium here and make it a really exciting event and an exciting evening, and a real measuring stick to see what this roster can do against a quality side from down south across the border in Mexico, one of the most successful and historic clubs in the world, quite honestly.
Yeah, certainly so. And if you're not able to make it to the match, we'll be live streaming it here probably, I don't know, I'd say about 7:30 Eastern time will be the start of the live stream. We really won't get things kicked off until closer to 8 p.m. So make sure when that link goes live to share it with your friends and family who aren't able to make it. I have to imagine if the weather's nice, it's going to be a packed house here at Shields Field. So you want to make sure to get your tickets. Once again, Fort Wayne FC versus Chivas de Guadalajara U20 on Friday, June 25th at 8 p.m. here at Shields Field. That's going to do it for us. Once again, Fort Wayne FC falls Flint City by a score of 3-0.